No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us
now. My name is Terry Wilson. I'm a lifelong Brantford resident. I could go on for days with the possible health effects of sodium fluoride, the effectiveness, but today I just really wanted to go into a brief history of sodium fluoride in the city of Brantford. In 1945, it was decided that Brantford would be a test city for artificial water fluoridation, as a lot of us do know. But many people don't know how that was presented to the people of Brantford. I tried to look up information on that. The Public Utilities Commission, Brantford Health Unit, neither could tell me the date that it was started or how it was presented to the people. So I then went to the Brantford Expositor archives, found several articles on it. The first article was titled Fluorine Plans Are Advanced. It was announced that the Fluorine Committee had been formed. The committee consisted of C.C. Karras as the chairman, Dr. F.J. Wentworth as vice chairman, and city clerk E.J. Campbell as secretary. The article then goes into the health benefits of fluorine. Fluorine was promoted as being beneficial for teeth, bones, and even hearing. The second article was September 26, 1945. The title was Brantford Now Adding Fluorine to City Water. The Public Utilities Commission disclosed that they have been adding fluorine to Brantford's water supply for 3 months without any notification to the public. No vote, no question, not even a notification. In these 3 months, there was no complaints made about the taste of the water or any other difference. Fluorine has been given a fair trial without publicity, and it was now time to inform the public. The article then goes on to say the project will require many years to prove or disprove the benefits to dental health. Basically, they were saying the people of Brantford were going to be guinea pigs in an experiment with this. After 1945, it becomes even harder to find information on fluoridation. It's not brought up very often. I couldn't find any studies or statistics proving the benefits of fluoride or disproving them. Like I said, there was no mention. But Dr. Ron Scott, a second-generation dentist, did know that no links between fluoridation and reduced caries in Brantford can be found. In several articles, there are small blurbs about it, but in the 1980s and 1990s, when Brantford's water was rated the worst in Canada, still fluoride was never mentioned. In my opinion, this is pretty much a violation of basic human rights. We're being given medication without any information on it, without our consent, without anything. They just decided that that's what's going to happen, and that's how it's going to be. That, to me, really needs to change. We need to have our voices heard. If we're receiving this on a daily basis, I mean, it's just common sense that we would have a say in the matter. So far, what we've been working on is a petition to force a referendum so the people of Brantford can vote on it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Casey Moore. 3 years ago, I discovered the city of Brantford practices water fluoridation. My thoughts about the topic were, if we were told not to swallow toothpaste because of the fluoride in it, why are we being told to drink water that has fluoride in it? You know, I have a thick toothpaste here that clearly states recommended to adults. Children are over 12 years old, do not swallow toothpaste. You know, that's because it has fluoride in it, basically. So I decided to do some research on fluoride. I was shocked to find the countless articles and reports showing that fluoride is highly toxic. It has several health effects. There are studies linking fluoride to thyroid problems, bone disease, cancer, and dental fluorosis, just to name a few. To continue fluoridation does not make sense. when I weighed the pros and cons. I was also surprised to find the lack of knowledge that people had on water fluoridation. This really shows the lack of education that people are giving on the topic. In recent years, this has started to change, thanks to websites like fluoridealert.org, which Dr. Paul Connett is the director. Dr. Paul Connett. Dr. Paul Connett obtained his bachelor's degree from Cambridge, England, and his PhD in chemistry from Dartmouth College in the United States. He retired from a full professorship at St. Lawrence University in Canton, New York, in May 2006. He is currently the director of the Fluoride Action Network. He specially at St. Lawrence was environmental chemistry and toxicology. For 25 years, Dr. Connett has been involved in waste management, an issue that has led him to give over 2,000 pro bono presentations in 49 US states and 52 other countries in 2010. He gave 2 presentations on zero waste and sustainability to the United Nations Commissions for Sustainable Development in New York City. At the urging of his wife, Ellen, he began researching the issue of fluoride's toxicity and water fluoridation debate in July 1996. Before Professor Connett began reading the literature on fluoride, he had accepted the prevailing American perception that people opposed to fluoridation was scientifically ill-informed. After 14 years of reviewing the primary literature, his perception has dramatically changed. Paul and Ellen Connett are included in American environmental leaders from Collier Times to the present by Ann Belcher and Joseph Ricci, Grey House Publishing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to present to you Dr. Paul Connett.
Thank you, Casey, and thank you, Terry. Yes, your experiences was like mine. 14 years ago, when my wife asked me to look at this because the village of Canton, where I live, was considering whether they were going to continue to fluoridate, and she wanted to know what to say. She goes to a lot of the village board meetings and makes her opinions known, but she wasn't certain that she wanted to tell them to take it out or keep it in. So she asked me to do it. I didn't want this issue. I was thoroughly busy with the teaching chemistry at university and also the waste business that you heard about. So I didn't want the issue. And quite frankly, when I started to read the literature, I wanted to find as quickly as possible the arguments which would convince my wife that this was okay, that there was no problem. And when I started to read, I was appalled. And I remember one of the first things I saw, which really struck me, was how low the level of fluoride is in mother's milk. If fluoride was necessary for babies or children, why is it so low in mother's milk? It's as low as 0.004 parts per million, which means that a bottle-fed baby in Brantford would be getting maybe 200 times more fluoride than a breastfed baby. This didn't make sense to me. Anyway, I read on, I got more and more appalled by what was in the literature, just like Terry, just like Casey. And then, as I was walking to the village board meeting, I said to my wife, I said, this is going to be easy. I said, this is going to be easy. When they hear what I read this afternoon, there's no way they're going to continue this. This is going to be easy. Took us 7.5 years to get it out of the village of Canton. When we went into that room now, we saw the standard ploy. The room was packed with dentists and a few doctors, pediatricians and so on, all swearing up and down that they could tell the difference between the kids who'd grown up in a fluoridated community and a non-fluoridated community. This was the best thing. There was no difference between fluoridation and chlorination and dental fluorosis. They'd never seen any cases of dental fluorosis and on.